So like I do every season, I like to cover my best settings and any changes that have changed from the prior season. So that's what we're doing today. I also got asked to make sure I show my leaderboard position next time I do this. So here we are. I'm in top 0%. I should be in the top 1,000, but unfortunately there's kind of a plague of boosters or cheaters going on with the leaderboards right now. So I'm not until they fix that, but there's all of those. There's my leaderboard spot and whatever. As far as settings go, there's not much that has changed between my controller settings, but my graphic settings have changed quite a bit. So let's jump over into that. So in my first tab for controller here, obviously I'm selecting controller. There's not much I really need to cover. This is all going to be preferential things, but in the first tab is where you find dead zones. So for example, I have trouble sprinting, so my left dead zone is brought down just a bit, so I don't have to jam my thumb into my stick. And of course, if you're having stick drift right and left, that's where you can bring this down or bring this up in order to figure out where you need to be, so where it's not drifting. I don't need to explain dead zones all too much. There's plenty of videos out there that can describe how to fix your dead zones, but that is just where you locate it. Now, when it comes to my aiming settings, like I said, not much has changed. I've been on 8.8 since the game came out. That is where I'm most comfortable, but that doesn't mean you necessarily have to copy that down. What I would recommend doing is going into a custom game and jacking it up as far as you can and slowly go down until you find where you're most comfortable, because you don't want it to be too slow, because you won't be able to turn onto enemies fast enough, but you also don't want to be too fast where you're not accurate at that point. So I'm at 8.8 there. When it comes to sensitivity multipliers, I haven't touched absolutely any of these. I have them all set at 1. So a lot of people actually ask me questions about my multipliers, but you can see there, I don't touch any of them. An important one here is going to be your aim response curve type, where you're going to want that set at dynamic. So dynamic is going to be what helps you with the side-to-side strafing. While you're strafing side-to-side, it's going to track your enemies much easier. This is the controversial one that a lot of the mouse keyboard players call aimbot. So dynamic there is definitely the best one for now. Now, scrolling down here, there's not really all too much to cover other than the custom sensitivity per zoom, where I have that set at 0.8. That's just going to be the low zoom option where you're running like the reflex sight, the slate reflector, or the MK3 reflector. It's just going to slow you down while you're aiming down the sights a bit to make it easier to track your enemies. I'm at 0.8 there, but if you find it too slow, crank it up a little bit. If it still seems too fast, you can crank it down, but I would start at that 0.8 location there and see where you can go from there. When it comes to the higher zooms, I'm not much of a sniper, so I don't have any of these, but if you're in the higher zoom scope, you're a sniper type of player, that's where you can crank this up or down. Down here, the aim assist option, though, you have your aim assist type. I see a lot of people using Black Ops. Last year in Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops was very, very good until about season 3 or 2 when they nerfed it into the ground. People still use it, but I would highly recommend switching over to default, because when you combine that with dynamic, it seems to be the strongest two options matched together. Black Ops is still all right if you're most comfortable with that, but I would highly recommend giving default a try at least. And as far as the rest of this goes, there's nothing else I need to cover. Let's get over to gameplay here. Now, when it comes to gameplay, I use automatic tactical sprint. You don't have to run it, but if I find that it saves my controller, it makes it easier to slide cancel, it makes it easier to sprint after sliding, all of that stuff. And let's just put it this way. If it's good enough that the pros ban it from their players from using it, the pros decide that none of them can use this, it should give you a good idea of how good it actually is. It can be uncomfortable with certain semi-auto weapons that you hip fire with, like shotguns, sometimes some pistols, or dual wielding weapons. It can be a little uncomfortable, but when it comes to basically everything else, automatic tactical sprint is, in my opinion, it is overpowered. And it is the best option when it comes to running. Make sure you just turn the slide, maintain sprint option on if you do decide to run that. And scrolling down, I don't believe we have the slide dive behavior. I never dolphin dive. You don't have to do this one. I only slide though. I only slide and I only slide cancel. I find that diving just puts you in situations where you're losing the gunfight most of the time. So I just turned it off altogether. That's where you find it. If you don't dolphin dive, I would recommend turning on slide only though, because it will prevent you from accidentally holding down your dive button. But when it comes to the rest of these controller options, I don't believe I touched anything else. We're going to scroll through it quickly just to make sure, but I'm almost certain I didn't touch any of this stuff. It just seems like a lot of Warzone stuff overall. Yeah. Let's get on to some graphic settings. So this may be a bit of a snooze for the console players, but make sure you guys are watching, simply because there are some graphic settings that do apply to console here. But for my PC guys that are looking to copy down my settings, I'm going to quickly scroll through them. You can pause the video or whatever you're going to do. So we're just going to quickly scroll through all of this stuff, and you can see exactly what I'm running. I guess brightness, I didn't touch that, but I know that that is a graphic setting that controller players do have. So we have my custom frame limit here. keep going, over to quality. And one thing that I was told to do that actually made my game look a lot better is the render resolution. Make sure you bump that up to 101 if you're on PC, not just 100, because it'll eliminate that blurry effect on your weapons. Some of you may use some blueprints that have like textures on it and stuff, and it just looks grainy and blurry. Turn it up to 101 actually, and it tends to fix that problem. Scrolling down, here is a console thing that you guys need to make sure you have on. It's going to be called upscaling/sharpening. Fidelity cast, I have that set at 65, but you can set that where you're most comfortable, where you think your game looks the best. Make sure you guys have that on if you are on console. We're going to keep scrolling down here. Make sure you set your VRAM scale target to 50. I used to have this set at 90, but it made a big difference by actually turning it down because I don't actually end up using that much of my VRAM anyways. One thing that I found weird actually, because I got my settings from a friend on Twitter, and that's where a lot of my changes came from. Overall, it's made my game perform a lot better. There's not a lot of stuttering. There's not a lot of, you know, I don't crash at all, but make sure you guys copy those down if you're on PC. And now we're in the view tab where there is a lot of options that console players make sure you're paying attention. My field of view I get asked about a lot. I run 110. I'm not a Warzone player. I don't think 120 is necessary simply because you're never really playing maps that are big enough to fully utilize that field of view. Most of the time the lanes are pretty skinny, or if the lane is that wide, you're not really going to be targeting that long of a gunfight in multiplayer anyways. So my field of view is at 110. I believe a lot of the pro players are set between 100 and 110. The CDL players, they don't ever go above 110. Your ADS field of view, you're going to want it affected. And scrolling down, world motion blur and weapon motion blur. I've talked about this before. Sure, it gives it a realism factor, but make sure you turn that off. You're not playing the Call of Duty for realism. You're playing it to perform well and get kills. You might miss enemies with that motion blur on. In the film grain, make sure you guys have that turned all the way down to 0. That will get rid of that grainy effect on your screen. And make sure you guys have your first person camera movement at 50%, and it will cause your character to move much less, at least visually, than like your crosshairs bouncing around and stuff. So make sure you guys have that turned all the way down. This is also where you find the invert flashbang. A lot of people hate the white. Yeah, that's where you find it. I don't really care personally, but there is all of my graphic settings. Now, when it comes to audio, there's not much to cover here, but I am going to quickly slide through it. Audio mix, make sure you guys have this set of audio-based boost. This is going to amplify footstep audio. There's not much footstep audio in this game, but especially if you're running that bone conductor headset, this will definitely make it easier to distinguish where your enemies are coming from. And scrolling down to master volume here, I have it 74, but it's all preference stuff when it comes down to it. Only thing I really recommend you take off is your gameplay music. You're not going to want that on. The gameplay music, you're just going to miss things. Sure, it gives it some cinematic effect or whatever, but especially in game modes like S&D where, you know, the music starts playing when it's a 1v1 or it's the last player live or it's the end of the round, make sure you just turn that off. You're just going to put yourself at a disadvantage by having that on. But when it comes to the rest of this stuff, I'm not running anything crazy. If you wanted to pause and check it out, you can do so, but nothing crazy here. And the last thing I wanted to cover in interface settings here is going to be color customization, and that's how I change the color of my enemies. I get asked almost every video, why or how do you change the color of the enemies on your mini map or the color above their head, their nameplates, whatever. So what you're going to want to do is go to your HUD color palette and custom. You can select whatever color you want. You don't have to choose green. Like I have my enemies as green because I find that it just stands out more. But you can really choose, like you can see, you choose whatever color you want there. And make sure you scroll down here to filter 2, and you're going to want your color filter target on both and set to 100. It's going to make your game overall much more vibrant. And I saw one more setting I wanted to cover, and that is your minimap shape. Make sure you have that set to square. It's going to cover much more of the minimap, and it obviously, seeing more of the minimap, you can gain a lot more information that way. I mean, honestly, like I said, not much changed other than the graphic settings, but I do get asked to cover my settings quite a bit for the newer viewers to the channel. I understand if some of you are already bored of this and you're just already skipped ahead to the gameplay. It is what it is. Make sure you guys do me a favor, though. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my daily Call of Duty videos. Thank you guys for watching all that good stuff. I got a gameplay recorded so you can see how my settings work live in action. Hope you guys enjoy. So I realized I didn't have a gameplay prepared for my settings video, so here we are. Little unprepared, I would say. I have no expectations for this. I put on a chopper gunner because I feel like a chopper gunner on this map would be pretty dang good. Where did you just get sniped from? Hello. There's another one there. Shit. Afghan being as open as it is, I feel like it would be a very good map to use the chopper gunner. First things first, you boys got to get it though. If I can't get it, I'm going to be very disappointed in myself. And then again, if I don't get it, you probably won't see the gameplay. Now that I'm thinking about it. I have played this game enough to know that these spawns should have flipped. And I would assume I'm right. They're either going to be tunnel, which I'm going to peek right now. Doesn't look like tunnel. Oh, that was a Kobe if I've ever seen one. Anybody else? No, they should be. Yep. I'm going to peek this one more time, then we're going to check. No. I don't think any of them should go. Ooh. We got one taker. And we got the choppy gunny. That's what I'm talking about. The only downside is they put the chopper gunner in the same category. Oh, you're there. They put the chopper gunner in the same category as the advanced UAV. That's basically what I was about to say. I should not keep challenging that. And I shall not. I'm gonna run. Oh, hi. What the heck? Dude, I'm actually freaking frying. Like, it's actually... Oh, he was right there. Dude, I thought that grenade came from, like, downtown. Like, downtown. And I was about to bug. I thought it was, like, a Kobe and a half. And I would have given him props for sure. But, like, I was about to bug out. It's a dead body. Swarm's doing the work. Swarm's really doing the work because it got way out there. That's too far. See them all right there? Now, when this is done... Honestly, I wish I would have a sniper right now. When my swarm's done here, I'm going to hit my chopper gunner. Because it is not done, but it's getting dangerously close to me. I stayed right here simply because I know it's not going to kill me. If I'm in a building, normally it doesn't kill me. I am on 41 kills. Holy smokes. Oh, they're all in the tunnel, dude. This should buy the squad some time here. Stop shooting me down. Yeah, this map was a W, actually, for the chopper gunner. Actually, a W. That got me a ton of kills. This is not the same MCW build, by the way, that I was running. I can't peek this, dude. I can't peek it. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to give this up. There's a guy in the cockpit over there that I have to focus on. Is he still there? No, looks like teammates got it. Little Wang, 51. Hit me with the freaking snipe of the century. Phase Lil Wang. I think my streaks have scared them into hiding. Part of the risk of running these kind of streaks is you will scare them to the point that they won't want to move. But we'll see. They're on the hill now, but they're not as, you know, on top of their objective game as they once was.
Still good. Loading.
This is nope, no thank you.
Changing mag.
The MTZ Interceptor is good in Warzone, and I think that was the Warzone build, actually, but I'm not good with it. Can't even be bothered. Can't even be bothered to try it. My team's here, so they shouldn't be spawning on me. That's good. I'm assuming they killed the guy there, because if they didn't, I'm dead. Oh, I'm out of bullets. I also think there's a guy in the plane here. Right here. Oh, there's not. Where did that come from? I don't know where the dot on the minimap came from if he's not there. Ah, I'm dead. Where is he? Oh, he's okay. So he was down there, just not where I thought he was, I guess. Slowed down my pace a lot, unfortunately. Is he still here? No, he's got to be dead, right? Maybe see if we can hit a back no a flank here. So I started off so hot.
I need magic. Not that easy to kill. Changing mag.
Oh, buddy.
Taking fire.
I don't even know who's shooting at me anymore. I got so focused. I had potential here for one of my better, like, games outside of maps like Shipment, and I kind of trolled it in a way.
Loading.
I definitely kind of trolled it in a way.
Hardpoint relocating. Stand by.
Taking effective fire.
On station. Hardpoint relocating.
He's behind the shield there, unless somebody got him. I don't think they did. Yeah.
Half over. Maintain the lead.
Target down. Simtex out.
Still there, too.
Dropping ammo here. Reloading. Loading.
Now, the big question of this hill is, if I end up locking down another chopper gunner, do I want to hit it right away? I didn't get it. I've talked about this before. Never do what I just did. Never say, oh, if I get, because you'll never get it. It's just how that works. Whenever you kind of like, it's not even hyping yourself up. You speak too soon, I guess. That's when you find yourself making mistakes you wouldn't, I guess, normally make. His head's not popping out enough for me to push that. There we go. Now can I make it up here?
Hostile UAV in the area.
Grenade. Move. Simtex out. Targets down.
They should all be in middle here.
Shot incoming. Changing mag. Drop the sniper. That's mag.
Hardpoint relocating. Stand. Hostiles launched a cruise missile.
Do I even want to peek this? I'm kind of frying.
Throwing Semtex. Incoming. Taking effective fire. One dead. Semtex out.
Secure the target area.
Changing mag.
I got the chopper gunner, but I know I call it in. The game is over, so like...
Ammo box destroyed. Contact.
F it.
Requesting
95. Let's see if I can get 5 kills quickly here. I'm not targeting the hill. If I get 5 kills... No, teammates are going to jump it. Yeah, teammates are jumping this for sure. Or are they not? Are they going to... No, they jumped it. 97 kills. I choked the 100 bomb. If I get those streaks just a little quicker, I would 100% get 100 there.